Marvel Studios producer Victoria Alonso recently did an Ask Me Anything on the Marvel Studios subreddit, where she indicated Marvel Studios is actively working on making our universe as unwhite and progressive as possible. Alonso noted that let me say woke. Alonso noted that she has been with Marvel Studios since late 2005. Before I go on, I don't know if anybody said this, so I think this is my opinion. All right. You are seeing Kevin Feige's replacement. It's a possibility.
Oh,
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com, and we need to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the direction it looks like it's taking. Now, on the surface, it's saying it's taking the direction of diversity and inclusion, but we know what this really means. Now, I discussed this on my big long live stream last night, which I will link in the description. But what I'm going to do this weekend is do some short videos for those of you who don't want to sit through the live stream on the subjects we covered, because I thought they were all pretty good. Now, what I like to do here is read between the lines and point out when there is a calculated information dump, or say a company like Disney uses the access media to control the flow of information, be it calling critics trolls or trying to get us used to something different by using buzzwords like diversity and inclusion, turning political speech into corporate gobbledygook, which really means less white and woke. And of course, we cannot forget it is Pride Month and pretty damn close to Pride Week here in San Francisco at time of recording, as well as easing the public into big changes. Now, of course, they just retired basically Iron Man and Captain America, and we are going to be getting the all new, all different MCU. Now, I'm showing Bounding Into Comics up there. They are not the access media. Let's make that absolutely clear. But I think within this article, which kind of goes as a sequel to my last video, card right here, where we talked to a Victoria Alonso, and she's the one who brought up independently the exact line that was in X-Men Dark Phoenix.
So you guys have a lot of toys to play with now in the future, including the X-Men, right?
Yes.
Could you, of course you can't tell me much, but can you give me a little hint of what the future is coming? Where is the future going and the excitement?
I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated.
I can't understate how odd it is, we'll just say odd, that she kneecaps X-Men Dark Phoenix prior to its release. Is this sabotage? She's attacking the X-Men brand, the single best-selling comic book in Marvel Comic Books history, the best animated series arguably in Marvel Comics history. It made more fans than the actual comic book did, and they are called the X-Men, and X-Men has the most broad appeal of any comic book. Selling them for 10 years, I can say that definitively. It sold to all shapes and sizes. Everybody loved the X-Men because there was so much to love. You could pick Wolverine, Jubilee, Kitty Pryde, whoever, Magneto. There was so much. It was its own separate world, and they were even considering making it its own separate world in Marvel Comics for a little while. Glad they didn't. But why would she come out and say this? She is an executive producer of the MCU, and she is calling her biggest title within the comic books and the best brand still to this day, despite what Fox and Marvel has done to it, she's calling it outdated. And at the end of the video, I will get to what the cold open showed a little bit from the last live stream of where I think this might be going. But let's go back to the Bounding in the Comics article from Bounding Into Comics, written by the future Pulitzer Prize winning John F. Trent, my co-host for the Swamp Thing recaps. Link will be in the description. Marvel Studios producer Victoria Alonso, we are actively working on making our universe as diverse and inclusive as we can. This is why this is bad news for anybody who's a comic book and especially an X-Men fan. Because it's going to be diverse and inclusive? No, the X-Men already are. Any X-Men fan knows that. I dare say they invented diversity and inclusivity in comic books. All you have to do is adapt what's on the page and job done. On to the next thing. But the disturbing thing, hearing this from Victoria Alonso, the longtime executive producer at the MCU, is this is not what they're doing. They're using it for a political platform. This goes beyond making money. Of course, they're going to make money anyway, but why not use their power to shape minds, socially engineer, to garner votes, and get politicians in office that are favorable to their company? And why are we seeing Victoria Alonso all over the place right now? Well, I suspect there's something behind that we might have something to do with that. But also, again, I think this is a little bit of playing with the media to run things up the flagpole to see who salutes. Marvel Studios producer Victoria Alonso recently did an Ask Me Anything on the Marvel Studios subreddit, where she indicated Marvel is actively working on making our universe as diverse and inclusive as we can. Again, it's already pretty damn diverse and pretty damn inclusive. You know, if you want to create new characters and make them non-white, great, no problem. Nobody has a problem with that whatsoever. But you better write them well. And that's what the problem is. It's not the character themselves, it's what happens when they hit the page. Now, apparently, Marvel has dialed this back a little bit within the comics, but that's too little and too late. They doubled, tripled, quadrupled down, pissed enough people off, and I don't think they're going to get them back. This next statement leads me to believe that they're trying to introduce her as something by saying she's been here for a long time, even though a lot of us didn't know who she was. I have heard her name before, but I really didn't know what she was about. Alonso noted that she has been with Marvel Studios since late 2005 at the very beginning of Iron Man. She began as a co-producer on Iron Man and visual effects producer. Wow, she has climbed the ladder, and good for her. During the AMA, she noted that her best part of working for Marvel Studios is to be able to show new generations the characters that represent them in each and every way. Would feel honored to have a member of the LGBTQ plus group represented in our films, and I hope the future shows that. Alonso's comments should not come as a surprise. She recently described the X-Men as outdated, arguing that there are a number of female characters in our team. She also discussed how Marvel Studios is committed to diversity at the world premiere of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was absolutely the MCU's first journey into the realm of woke, and we will be getting much, much more. There is no doubt. I can't believe there were people who were giving us a little clapback on this, going, nah, it was just a one-off, or even worse, saying that Captain Marvel wasn't that woke of a film and that feminism wasn't that heavy-handed. Well, it was faux feminism, but it was heavy-handed. We can't deny that. And it looks like we're going to be hearing a lot more from Victoria Alonso. More on that later. Now, it sounds like she's being tortured and interrogated here. I don't know the context of this, but I'll read it to you. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? I'm so passionate about this. Our entire success is based on people that are incredibly different. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we only want to be recognized by only one type of person? Our audience is global, is diverse, is inclusive. Don't hurt me. If we don't do it that way for them, we will fail. If we don't put the pedal to the metal on the diversity and inclusivity, we will not have continued success. Our determination is to have that for all the people out there watching our movies. So basically, they want to make movies for everybody. They did forget one group of people that happens to be very diverse: the hardcore Marvel comic book fan. She would go on to state that the world is ready for an openly gay superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She stated, "The world is ready. The world is ready. Please don't hurt me." So I'm going to go Nerdstradamus on you, and you're really going to be impressed with my skills. Based on my deductive reasoning by watching the Black Panther marketing and watching the Captain Marvel marketing, my bet is the Eternals gets released during Pride Month, and they do the same thing, leaning heavily into identity politics. Many YouTube videos will be made, many Access Media articles will be written, and it will make a bunch of money, and it'll probably be a very mediocre film at best, because that's what we're going to be getting from Disney Marvel. As to what the diversity and inclusivity could look like, Kevin Feige told Movies.com, "We always look back to get those ideas, sometimes very specific storylines like Civil War, sometimes just nuggets or characters like Planet Hulk. So anything that's happened in the comics, even a female Thor, become great potentials and the ideas from which the future movies can be born." Marvel Studios is currently in production on the Black Widow solo film that should have been made 10 years ago. Not sure how well it's going to do now. They also have confirmed they are developing the aforementioned Eternals film, the LGBTQ plus lead film, as well as a Shang-Chi movie. Other movies in development include Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2. I predict directed by Brie Larson, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Rumors indicate that they could also be developing a new Avengers movie as well as an Ant-Man 3 film. Marvel Studios will also be bringing the Marvel Cinematic Universe to the small screen on Disney+. They have announced a WandaVision, Loki, and The Falcon and Winter Soldier as TV series. Rumors indicate there could be a She-Hulk, Hawkeye, and Lady Sif show down the road. What do you make of Alonso's statements? Are you excited about the direction of Marvel Studios, or do you think the outlook doesn't look good? Well, I'll tell you, John, what I think. I think Alonso's statements are disturbing. I think if Jeff Loeb is in charge of the television division on D+, it will all crash and burn. He has proven he fails over and over again, and it's an outlier when a show is good, like Daredevil. Get rid of Jeff Loeb, and these TV shows definitely have a chance. But everything we're seeing out of Disney, everything they say that is coming out, looks like it's going to be at least semi-woke. We won't just get a straight superhero story like we did in Aquaman and Shazam from the DC EU. It looks like Marvel is going to make the same mistakes as their little brother did, or little sister, Marvel Comics. You know, the source material that I just called little brother or little sister, that's what it is now. That is what it's been reduced to, an advertising write-off. So I will end this on some speculation. We're seeing Victoria Alonso quite a bit now. The MCU, to me, has ended with Endgame. It was a great run, a phenomenal, historic run. If I was Kevin Feige, to cement my legacy forever, and they would probably change the name to Hollywood to Feige would, if he retired right now, walked away from the greatest cinematic universe ever, probably the only cinematic universe that was going to be this cohesive in this short amount of time put together. Of course, there's others, but let's face it, this is the best cinematic universe. This is this generation's Star Wars. It's bigger because there was more movies that were more successful, with more characters, a deeper universe. They finally tapped into, in my opinion, the greatest universe in all of fiction, the Marvel Comics universe, and did a decent job. It still has some glaring holes, like, you know, a real Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the X-Men, we can go on, but they did a great job. Maybe it's time for Kevin Feige to ascend to CEO of Disney or some other position, and it looks like we might be seeing his replacement in Victoria Alonso. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know for sure, but considering current year politics and the Time's Up era, you check a lot of boxes with Victoria Alonso, and she's done great work by being a part of this Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I'm assuming that. I don't really know if she's done great work. I mean, we assumed Kathleen Kennedy did great work with Steven Spielberg all those years, and now, well, it looks like that's not the case. So we'll find out. But what I'm hearing out of Victoria Alonso is not anything that's very encouraging at all. So maybe it's just a blip. Maybe she's just out there because Kevin Feige wasn't available or didn't want to show his face for Dark Phoenix. I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm just putting it out there for you to think about, mull over. Chances are Kevin Feige is going to stay. Why would he leave? But if he can see that there's going to be a bunch of backlash with all of the wokeness of the coming MCU, and it's coming, folks, maybe he decides to bow out and just avoid it, because I doubt the man needs any money, and his body of work is pretty close to perfect. If it wasn't for Captain Marvel, it'd be pretty damn close to perfect. And I'll be honest, Captain Marvel doesn't besmirch it that much now, but it might in the future. Everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to all the new subscribers. We hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I can't thank you enough. I am just nothing but grateful. More videos to come. Everybody have a great day. And remember, you're never fully dressed without a smile.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.